Rouse, we're here at Tadcaster after the season finale. Big 4-0 win. Give us your thoughts on the game.
Similar to Thursday night, I thought, people question what you're playing for and your motives, and I thought it was another really good performance, even at 0-0. Even though we said it before the game, we're probably going to be a little bit leggy, we're probably going to be tired on the back of 90 minutes on Thursday night, but we had to find some energy levels, we had to do what we needed to do within that game, and I thought even at 0-0, 1-0 against 11v11, we still looked bright. And then obviously the sendings off do change the complex of the game and help us, especially when we've had that game Thursday night, 2 red cards in quick succession, and it allows us to sort of move the ball around with ease really, and it was just a matter of time before we scored again, and obviously we've gone and added to that tally and scored 4 and probably should have gone away with more.
Bax grabs himself a hat-trick. I think it's his first goals of the season. I don't know if you can remember any others. Good way to take his hat-trick with the goals that he scored. All 4 of them were decent finishes in the end. How pleased were you that the lads that did score took the chances the way they did?
Yeah, I mean, you look at the first goal, he draws the keeper and sort of chips it over him. We've seen that before, haven't we, away at Ossett, I think, on Boxing Day, and he does that well, and his second one he does exactly the same again. And the third one's a good little finish into the corner, and he's dependable. When we need him, he's in there and he's part of the staff. And you look at sort of Jimmy going into the side, Bax going into the side, and Gav, they've all played sort of bit parts throughout the season, but when they're called upon, they always put a shift in for the team and a shift in for the club, and that's what you need. You need people who are going to roll the sleeves up, and I'm pleased that he's gone and got an hat-trick and got the match ball today.
That victory at the end of the season, it puts us pretty much slap bang in the middle of mid-table. Give us your thoughts overall on how the season's gone and sort of what you'll be looking for into next season.
Obviously, we're sort of disappointed where we felt we should have finished a little higher. There's been mitigating circumstances. I know we've obviously come in for a little bit of criticism throughout certain channels of the way we've had to play at the back end of the season. And what I would say to that is, when you take players like Joe Lumsden out of the team in February, Jack Van, whose season ended at that point, Joe's only just got back and played today, and you can see they're not fully fit, but did a job for the team. Spratty were out for a number of weeks, and obviously we're losing big players who are key to how we play, and we haven't got the resources as a club to naturally just go out and find replacements, especially when them sort of players are injured. We're a club that has to try and do his recruitment early in the summer, and that's what we'll try and do again next season. We do feel we should have finished higher. We feel there's circumstances why we've finished where we have, but we're glad we've been able to finish on a positive note and give the fans a day to obviously cheer about and sort of get behind and get their hopes up for next season.
You touched on the fans. There's been some great moments with individual games throughout the season. Any highlights for you this season?
A lot. Ever since I came back to the club, I think the support's grown and grown. You look at where we were 4 or 5 years ago. I know we've grown a lot of the support off the back of the Halifax game last season in the FA Cup, but I think them supporters are probably the ones who are a little bit impatient and don't realise where we've come from at times. And if you look 5 years ago, we're a club that's probably struggling to get 50 through the gate in the NCL Division 1, and now that's obviously his 3rd full season at this level, and that's first and foremost what you have to do. You have to make sure you consolidate your place in the pyramid. We're not a club that can just blow teams away financially, and we're not a club that can go and just compete with all them teams at the top end, so we have to find a way, and year on year we do seem to get stronger. So obviously we've improved on last season's finish. We'll go away, we'll plan, and we'll try and come back and go one better next year and try and see if we can pinch a spot in them playoffs next season.
For next season, obviously the season's ended now. What will you be doing until that pre-season starts?
It never stops, does it? The players get a rest for 4 or 5 weeks. You've seen that we've done a lot of business early in getting players tied down and getting commitments from them. So the hard work starts now for us as staff. The easy bit's training Tuesday, Thursday and turning up Saturday. So the phone will not stop. We'll be constantly in communication with players that we want to bring in, constantly in communication with our players that we want to retain. And as I said, we'll look to try and build a strong squad, regroup and come back stronger. We had a lot of good form before Christmas. After Christmas we sort of faltered a little bit and not been as positive. As I said, the circumstances for that, and hopefully we'll get them players back fit and ready for pre-season and look to come back stronger.
Brilliant. See you later.